fist for you guys. Well done.
Thank you.
Another
Thank
podium. That car's the second best, isn't it now?
It was today, but I wouldn't make that claim for the season. But great to have 2 races on the trot, really 3 if you include Austria, and drivers are doing a great job. Pit stops are sound, reliability's good, so we keep pushing.
What do the drivers have to say about the balance? I'm really curious, because sometimes when you make the car better, it still has problems. You're just doing them faster. So what were they saying today?
Well, it's exactly that. Actually, they were asked last night by some of our partners. They're like, well, why do you still have the same problems? We're like, well, eventually, as you know, you drive it beyond what it's capable of. So the car feels better, doesn't feel substantially different, just putting more downforce down, and we still need to work on the slow corners.
Zak, you've done really an incredible job. I mean, really, hats off, phenomenal. Team bosses never used to have to sign autographs. Are you loving it to be a star yourself now?
I love the fans. You know, I think at the end of the day, that's what this sport is about. And I think kind of the new Formula One now is, you know, all about the fans and the TV shows that we're doing. So I think we're here for sport and entertainment, so we need to share our awesome sport with everyone.
Well, I mean, just going back to what Nico was saying, this turnaround, 17th and a DNF for Oscar in the first race in Bahrain, then I think it was, what, 15th and 17th in Saudi Arabia. I'm not sure.
You just got to sober things up, don't you?
No, but I mean, the fact is that was the first 2 races. You look at where you were then and you look at where you were now. I mean, even in your wildest dreams, knowing that you'd got this B-spec car, could you have thought that you would have let that far forward, or was that just a bit beyond it?
It's been impressive, and the people that have been impressive are all the men and women at McLaren who have head down, pushing hard, designing, developing, building, putting it on the car, and then executing. So I think it just shows what this team's capable of, and they didn't get their head down when we got off to a slow start, and long may it continue.
Let's talk about your 2 drivers. Let's start with Lando, because we understand there might have been a little bit of damage to the underside of Oscar's car. Was that the case, by the way? Did he have a little bit of damage?
A little bit.
Okay.
A little bit.
All right, fine. So did that meant that Hamilton was able to get ahead of him?
Yeah.
Okay. With Lando, though, and the way that and the level that he's driving at the moment, I know he's got a contract, but there's going to be a lot of people sniffing around him. How do you keep someone like that? Does he bleed papaya like you?
He does, okay. And I think the way you keep him is you give him a good race car. And as long as we can give him a good race car, he loves the environment, he loves the team, he's been on this journey. Obviously, we were all a bit frustrated at the start of the year, but now, 2 seconds on the trot, is qualified, 5th, 2nd, and where was he today? 3rd. And so I think as long as we keep doing that, then he'll stick around.
I'm curious to hear more about Oscar. He had a great day. Sergio was the only one that got by him, and obviously those Red Bulls are still super fast in the race. So give us a little more insight. What is he like? What's his personality like, and how is he able to achieve such great things so quickly?
He's very calm. He's very mature for his age and being a rookie, and he's a student. When you watch him over the weekend, he looks at the data, he understands, he asks questions, he's calm, and then he goes out and applies it the next run or the next day, and come qualifying, he's right there. So he's a very mature driver who doesn't kind of worry about the Friday morning lap time.
And what about Lando in this case? Is he helping Oscar, or do you see him becoming more protective because, hey, there's a real threat coming here?
No, he's definitely keeping Lando on his toes, and no, Lando enjoys it. They get along really well, and Lando's very open book, and they're racing for the team. All the debrief this morning, and talking on the radio this afternoon. They want to do what's best for the team, so all good.
Can I just ask you a question though? At the beginning, why was Lando given the undercut rather than Oscar? Why were you pitting them that way round?
Yeah, that was not fair, Zak.
Yeah, there was some conversation on the radio. We thought that was the best strategy for the team. We were, considering do we do something later in the race, but we were on the, what was the best strategy for the team at the time. We wanted to cover Lewis. Lewis came out and it looked like they were going to make a stop.
Shouldn't you have just switched places though right afterwards? Because
we wanted to kind of see how the pace settled in on the new tires. So it was something that we spoke about on pit wall and said, let's see where we are on lap 5 from the end and make a decision.
So Lando doesn't get first call week in, week out if they're
No.
Okay.
That was what we just thought was the best strategy. Really keen off of what we thought Lewis was going to do.
I love that you brought up the teammate thing, because in Formula One there's always such competitiveness within teammates, and I'm wondering, is that something that you think is actually effective, or is it better to cultivate a friendship and help each other?
I think a little bit of both. You know, it's tricky. Obviously, Nico was there, and his championship season was pretty exciting. And I think drivers are naturally, obviously, very competitive with each other, and you just got to make sure they race cleanly and you're fair. So you know, when that happened on the pit stop, we knew it was something we might need to address later on, but it was too early in the race to make that decision.
I was almost going to say, Danica, friendship that does not exist. Like, what are you talking about?
No,
but actually, Zak, you have shown it before, haven't you, with Lando and Carlos?
Yeah,
there was
Lando,
a real friendship
Carlos,
there.
Lando,
so it does work.
And Daniel, I think it's all about managing the environment and making sure if you see something bubbling up, we've all been there before, where you see something bubbling up and some of the team bosses just kind of watch for it to happen, and so you got to get in there early if you start seeing some growling.
Yeah, but hang on a second, Zak. You're coming into a new situation here now, huh? You're going to be fighting for race wins now between the two drivers.
I'm sure
that's
it'll get
a
trickier.
whole different ballgame, and we're looking forward to watching you manage that.
Yeah, it'll be
Champagne
fun.
problems.
Yeah. That'll be fun. Yeah, luxury
Hearing
problems.
the lesson from you. Well, just the last one from us. I mean, obviously you're going to have to reset your targets after the way you've improved now. What do you do with? It looks like we're seeing these leapfrogs. I mean, obviously you fill the hole or between Red Bull and Aston Martin. Aston Martin have fallen away. How much are you chasing this season? How much are you concentrating on next? Where's the balance line?
Well, with
What's
the rules
targets?
kind of pretty much staying the same, everything that we're learning this season applies to next season. So we're head down. We're full throttle. We have more developments coming. We'll have some stuff, some big stuff later in the year, and I think we just keep pushing. We see how quickly it can change. You look at Alfa Romeo, they were, 9th, 10th in the championship, and then they were quick in qualifying. Williams has been in Q3, so it's so close, I don't think we can sit here and assume anything.
Okay, you got a lot of caps to sign. We'll let you get back to your adoring public. Well done.
Thank you.
Brilliant stuff. Well done. Let's hear from Oscar Piastri.